Hello, in this brief video I want to talk about the death of the brief career of Gaius Caesar, who was a grandson of Octavian Augustus. He was one of three kids born by Marcus Agrippa and Julia, Octavian's only daughter. Now, Gaius Caesar, he was in his teens. Well, he was to be the emperor. I mean, he was to be the emperor, if not for Tiberius. And, well, Agrippa Postumus was probably so because of his character. Lucius Caesar, his younger brother, was next. And, of course, the trouble was Tiberius. Now, according to the film and gossip here and there, it was Livia, Tiberius' mother, who got rid of all three of Agrippa's sons, including Julia herself. Now, Gaius Caesar, about the years 0 or 1 BC, actually there's no such thing as 0, it's 1 BC, he fought an inefficient campaign against the German tribes on the Rhine. He fought on the Rhine, but there was hardly any fighting done. And in the year 2 BC, the Parthians installed a client king of their own in Armenia, and they forced Armenia to rebel. According to our good friend Cassius Dio, the Armenians, they were handed over to the rule of the Mede, one Ariobarzanes, who at an earlier date approached the Romans in Syria. Anyway, now the Armenians accomplished no successes of any consequence against the Romans, but a certain Adon, who was holding the town of Artagira, persuaded Prince Gaius Caesar to venture near the walls on the pretext that he would disclose to him secret intelligence concerning the Parthian king. Then he contrived to wound him. The Romans thereupon besieged the city of Adon, Artagira, but he held out for a long time. When the city was finally captured, not only Augustus but only Gaius assumed the title of Imperator. Augustus and the Senate handed over Armenia to Ariobarzanes, their own client. Gaius fell sick as a result of his wounds, since he did not enjoy strong health in the first place. His general condition had already affected his mental activity, and his illness weakened his faculties still further. In the end, he begged for leave to retire to a private life, and it was his intention to settle somewhere in Syria. Augustus Caesar, although much distressed at the news, informed the Senate of the young man's wish, but urged him at least to return to Italy, and then do as he chose. So Gaius immediately resigned all his duties. He was proconsul of Syria, actually, and he returned to Italy, and he sailed in a cargo vessel to Lycia, where he died in the town of Limia of his wounds. Just 2 years later, his brother Lucius dies in Massilia, and a couple of years later, Agrippa Postumus dies, along with Julia. That was foul play, if not by Adon, by Livia herself. That's, now, according to Florus, in the east the Armenians caused more trouble. Caesar sent one of his grandsons. Both were cut off in an early life without having distinguished himself. Lucius died of disease at Marseille, whilst Gaius perished in Syria, that's in Armenia actually, by a wound received while recovering Armenia, which was transferred to Lysias to Parthia. Going back, Pompey, after defeating Tigranes, had accustomed the Armenians to a state of bondage, but merely obliged them to accept rulers appointed by Rome. The exercise of this right, which has been interrupted, was re-established by Prince Gaius Caesar after a struggle, which, though not serious, involved some loss of life. For Donis, who the king had appointed governor of Artagira, pretending to betray his master, attacked the general, that's Prince Gaius Caesar, while he was engaged in examining a document which had himself handed to him as containing a list of the treasures, and suddenly struck him with his drawn sword. Caesar recovered from his wound for the time being. His barbarian assailant beset on all sides, but the angry soldiers made a tolerance to the still surviving Caesar, who fell by the sword and was burnt upon the pyre which he hurled himself after he had been stabbed. So that's the end of Gaius Caesar, and later on Lucius Caesar and Agrippa, Postumus, and Julia. And of course, who else took power after the death of Caesar? Tiberius, the ruthless man, with Livia, his mother.